Hi everyone, welcome to Greeklish Outdoors. Today we're going to be looking at building our own ration pack, so stick around. Right, so building our own ration pack. So I've tried a lot of different military rations in the past, and many of them are very good. However, they can be very expensive. A 24-hour ration can be anywhere between 50 and 90 euros. Because of that, it does put them out of a lot of people's price range. So what I thought is about making my own ration pack, but there are a few criteria which I have to abide by when I'm making my own. One of these, of course, is price. So the ration that I build will have to be half the price of what I consider the best ration out there, which just so happens to be 50 euros online. So I'm giving myself a budget of 25 euros. Now it needs to be comparable to a standard military ration in terms of expiry date. So it has to have at least 1 year shelf life on this ration. It also has to be comparable in terms of weight. So we're looking at about 1.5 to 2 kilograms at the very, very most. We also need to look at convenience, so how easily available these items are, and also their portability. Of course, taste is another criteria. They have to taste good. You can get a lot of cheap meals out there which taste crap. These have to sustain you not only for 24 hours, but also you want something that will give you a little morale boost as well if possible. Next is durability. The items you've got cannot break too easily, cannot be too fragile. They need to be able to be packed, be able to be stuffed in a bag, and if possible, not to break or leak. Next is calorie content. For a 24-hour ration, an average man like me who wants to maintain my weight will need around about 3,100 calories, but the standard ration is normally about 3,000 calories. There also needs to be a range of drinks like teas, coffees, and if possible an isotonic drink. There needs to be snacks, whether crackers, crisps, also things like chocolates or cereal bars, and of course hygiene items, which include things like antibacterial wipes and tissues. And finally, you need a source of ignition, like either matches or a lighter, some kind of utensil like a spoon, fork or spork. One of the rules I am making for myself here is that a lot of people who might want to make their own ration pack might not be able to buy things in bulk. So I'm having to buy things individually, which means I can't buy a multi-pack of something, take one out and calculate the cost of that one item out of the multi-pack. It has to be a single item on its own. If I do buy something in bulk, I have to either use it all or have to incorporate the full cost of the item. And finally, it has to be items that I can find locally from shops and supermarkets. Now, taking all those things in consideration, I think it might be a bit of a challenge, to be honest. I've seen other people make rations before online, but I don't think they're quite as stringent with the rules as I am. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get off to the supermarket and see what we can find. Right, so off to the supermarket we go. Right, we've exhausted all our options here in Masutis, so let's try going to Lidl and see what we can find in there. I'm having difficulty finding items, not in price so much, but in a small enough size to fit in the ration. As they don't have baskets here in Lidl, part of the fun of shopping here is trying to find a box to carry your stuff around in. Lidl was a bit of a disaster. All I could find was a pack of crackers that had a long enough shelf life. Back to the drawing board. Right, so I've come into another store because I need things like tissues, wet wipes, and hopefully maybe a container to put the ration in. So there is my homemade ration pack. Put it on the scales. So 1,679 grams. The weight of it is within the allowance of the comparable rations out there for a 24-hour ration, that is. Firstly, a 70-gram bag of bruschetta chips. These are pizza flavoured ones. A 40-gram bag of salted crackers. Pack of 6 Oreo cookies. As we're in Greece, it would be rude not to add in some sesame bars. We have a 50-gram chocolate protein bar with coconut. We have a 30-gram bar of dark chocolate. An apple pie. Pots of honey, which totals to 100 grams of honey. We have a halva bar with chocolate and hazelnut. California tuna salad, 150 grams. Our 2 main meals, one of which is peppers stuffed with rice, and the other is beans in a tomato sauce with carrots. Next we have our accessory pack. In here we have a pack of wet wipes, a pack of tissues. One thing I thought I was going to struggle with was coffees, but I found these 45 cents each. The issue is the size of them, they're quite big, but I popped one open because I felt something jiggling around inside, and actually it's just a coffee sachet, a straw and some sugar, which I can put all of in the ration pack. We have a toothbrush, we have a hydration powdered iced tea. This is passion fruit flavour. We have another one of these which is coconut flavour. I bought a pack of tea with 10 tea bags. Now I'm going to charge the full amount to the total that I paid, but I'm only going to put in 4 tea bags just for space, basically. Source for ignition, normally you get matches, but a little lighter. Obviously you can use it to light. You also can create sparks as well with that, even if the fuel is gone. We have a nice metal spoon. We have 2 Mentos chewing gums, fresh mint flavour, and we also have a cola bubble gum. I had to pinch some salt out of a already used ration pack. That and pepper are the only things I couldn't find in a small enough quantity which would be portable. So there we have our ration pack, and it fits into a regular size ration pack bag, so we know it's portable. So a guy like me with my height and weight who wants to maintain my body mass, we'll need approximately 3,200 calories. What we have in the ration pack works out as 3,205 calories. So we hit the nail on the head on that one. So if we look at a standard ration pack, the nutritional division is about 65% carbohydrates, 15% proteins, and then the remaining 20% fat. So if we calculate the amount of nutrients in this ration, it comes out to be 59.43% carbohydrate, 27.06% fat, and 13.51% protein. So if we compare that to what I previously said about standard rations, we're a tiny bit off in ratios of fat and carbohydrate. A little bit low on carbohydrate, a little bit higher on fat. But in the end, the calories even out. So for a 24-hour ration, this will be fine. So overall, I think we met our criteria pretty well. If we compare it to the average ration pack, then expiry date, ours is between 1 and 3 years compared to 1 to 4 years. The one I made should be more, but unfortunately some of the small items like crackers and chocolate bars, their shelf life is only just a year. In terms of weight, 1.679 versus 1.35 to 2 kilograms, so we're somewhere in the middle there. Calories, 3,205 versus 3,000 to 5,000, 5,000 being the more expensive Arctic rations. Cost, it was just over 19 euros in the end, compared to between 50 and 85 plus euros if you want to buy a military ration. So we're also comparable in terms of contents in types of foods, snacks, sanitary items. Taste wise, I'm not going to go through all the tasting now, it'll make the video far too long, but I've had nearly all these items before and they all taste fine. It might not be quite up to the standard of the French ration, but it is up there with some of the other rations out there. As far as convenience, they were all fairly easy to get at local supermarkets, and they all do fit into a bag which is comparable to a regular ration. In this case, ours is about 35 centimeters by 25 centimeters by 15 centimeters. And durability, nearly all the items are in fairly durable packaging. The only thing I'll be slightly concerned about is the little sachets of honey. If they burst